Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, none of that. Today it's Tuesday, so I'm doing a tag, and the tag I'm doing is the panic tag. So this tag was created by Pax at Pax Panic, whose channel is fantastic. If you don't subscribe to Pax, then you should do. She does really interesting and engaging horror reviews and all sorts of other videos as well. So definitely check her out if you are not already a subscriber. So she has done this tag, which is based around phobias. So 7 questions, I think. Each taking its cue from a different phobia with a kind of bookish prompt linked to it. So, without further ado, I will get into the questions. The first prompt is based around arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, and the question is to name a book with a ton of characters. So I'm going to go with the 87th Precinct series for this, my favourite series of all time, as I've said many times on the channel before. So this is a series of 55 police procedural mysteries written by an author called Ed McBain. He started in the 50s, finished in the early 2000s when he died, but a really wide, really big cast of characters. And really, as other people have said in the past, it's all of those characters taken together that are the main character of the book, if that makes sense. So all of them play a part in solving the mysteries, including people who aren't necessarily police officers. Obviously you've got detectives, you've got like forensics people, scientists and things like that who work in the precinct. You've got informers, you've got, spouses and partners of the different, the different characters. But they all quite often play a part in solving a mystery, so it's never just down to one of the detectives. So a fantastic ensemble cast that works brilliantly across a number of books, 55 books in total. Next question then is Coulrophobia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Fear of clowns. So name a book with a ridiculous or funny scene. So for this one, I'm going to go with Liarmouth by John Waters, which is the book I'm reading at the moment, which is hilarious. And there's just been a scene which I cannot describe fully because it's too obscene, but it was so funny. Where basically the two main characters are they're like kind of con artists basically. Like petty crooks, and they go to the airport to steal luggage off the luggage carousels as it's coming in, and keep on getting caught out by people. But the guy, so it's a man and a woman, this couple, and the guy is permanently horny and aroused and has an erection throughout the whole of this proceedings, and it ends terribly for him, and it's just very, very funny indeed. I do recommend it. It's just come out, Liarmouth. I probably will do a review, even though it's kind of off topic for the channel. I'll probably do a review of it because I'm enjoying it very much so far. Next question is Acrophobia, the fear of heights. So name a book that changed your view. So I thought about doing the Dictator's Handbook for this one, but I have talked about that on the channel before. So instead, I'm going to go with Jews Don't Count by David Baddiel, which I read a few months ago, which is a really, really interesting book about anti-Jewish racism and how that is often treated slightly differently from other forms of racism. So Baddiel, if you don't know him, is a British comedian. Very funny. So the book is, very engaging and entertaining, but has a really important message at its core. And he does a fantastic job of, backing up what he's trying to say with evidence and anecdotes and things like that. So a very convincing and interesting book. Next one is Trypophobia, the fear of holes. Name a book with a plot hole. So for this one, I'm going to go with The Stand by Stephen King, which is a book I like and admire in many ways. But I can never really get away from the sense of kind of the why of it all. So you've got this plague, if you don't know the story, and you probably do. So this flu pandemic, wipes out most of the world, and the remaining people end up in either the good camp, following this woman called Mother Abigail, or in the bad camp, following this evil guy called Randall Flagg. But it's never really been clear to me why they go to one or the other. and what's caused these two camps to arise. So it's always felt always been something that has nagged at me when I've read the book is, well, okay, it's quite exciting and interesting and I'm into the characters, but why the hell is all of this happening? So yeah, The Stand by Stephen King for that one. Next one is Mysophobia, the fear of germs. Name a book with the best symptoms or infection. I tried to think really long and hard about this one and come up with a really original and interesting book for this, but I couldn't. I kept on coming back to The Troop by Nick Cutter, which is a book about this group of Boy Scouts who are on an island that gets infected with this horrible, disgusting disease. And whilst there were a lot of things I thought were not that great about the book, the actual descriptions of this virus and the effects it has on people are so wonderfully disgusting and horrible that had to be my pick for this book. It was a very disgusting and entertaining read. Next prompt is Astrophobia, which is the fear of lightning or thunder. So name a book which hit you hard. And I did think about a number of different books that had a big emotional impact on me and kept on coming up with either books I've talked a bit about before or books that tend to get talked about in this, when this kind of topic comes up, like A Little Life, for example. And then I thought of one that came to mind the other day that really hit me hard at the end of it, and this is a short story called Man from the South by Roald Dahl, which is about a guy who's a gambler, and it's about the lengths people go to get what they want, and the twist at the end when you find out what's really going on is really disturbing, and it's something that's really stuck with me ever since I read it. So it's only a short story, but it's really got a powerful punch at the end of it. Roald Dahl, if you've not read his adult short fiction, is a fantastic writer of kind of quite dark and macabre short fiction, as well, of course, as being a much-loved children's author. Right, final question then is Inochlophobia, which is the fear of crowds. So name a place or group of people you hated. Name a book with a place or group of people you hated. So for this one, I'm going to go with one of the books from the 87th Precinct series, because as I never tire of saying, it is my favourite series. And that book is Nocturne, which is one of the later books in the series. And it features this gang of three, rich, entitled college boys who basically go on a crime spree in the city and commit a number of attacks of kind of sexual assault and murder. And they're just such utter wankers. They are so repellent as characters. They are so uncaring about the feelings or rights of anybody else. All they care about is their own entertainment. And just as I read, I felt myself getting infuriated by them as I read the book, and my skin crawled at the kind of things that they get up to. It's a fantastic book. I mean, the whole series is great, but that's a particular favourite of mine in the series. But yeah, the college guys in Nocturne gets my vote for that one. So that's it for me. That's all of the questions in the tag done. I'm going to tag some people now. I don't know. So this tag, Pax only put this tag up in the last week, or last few days even. So I'm not sure who is going to be, doing it anyway. But let me tag some people. If you haven't done it already and you fancy it, then go for it. So I am going to tag. I'm going to tag Michael K. Vaughan. I'm going to tag MJ at Reading This Life. And I'm going to tag It Came From The Page, who's another fairly new channel that's absolutely fantastic. So I thoroughly recommend you check out It Came From The Page if you're into horror. He does loads of really interesting stuff on vintage horror. He's read some books that I'd never heard of that look absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to tag those three people. But if I haven't tagged you and you fancy doing it, of course, as always, go for it. I wasn't tagged to do this. I just saw it and thought it looked good, which tends to be my approach to tags. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope everyone out there is safe and well. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I will speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.